No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, bond that can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. I sadly mistaken, I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Today is a very special day because we get to go back into fantasy football. Yeah. I don't like that one. You gotta get certain cheers, give you a certain, appreciation of what you want to do. But now, today is a great day because we are back. This is season 2. Today is season 2 of FFC. Prior to today, it was all off-season stuff. Trying to keep you guys updated on the NFL and what's going on, and just talk a little bit more of football during the off-season. But off-season's over. Training camps have begun. Now, we haven't had our slew of ACL tears yet, so we're gonna give it another week before I start ranking everybody from top to bottom, like basically who you should take with your very first pick all the way down. Give me a week or so. I gotta get these injuries going first, because what I don't want to do is have everybody rank and then these injuries come and I gotta reorder the whole thing. Let me get the culmination of ACL tears first, at least the practice ones, at least the training camp ones. And then we can get started, and then from there we can go to drop whoever's ACLs or, Achilles tear from there. I'm not making light. I'm not trying to be funny about it. Don't come for me. It's just, it's just one of those things. Like, it's not funny, but it's just like, we're waiting on injuries. It's the NFL. They're going to come. And it's funny because the part that I'm laughing at is every person that you have right here that you can't wait to draft number 1, dude, they shouldn't be in your head right now. You should have a lot of people that you should be wanting to take with your number 1 pick, not just one, because he might not be there, but he might not make it to the season. Okay, ACLs have to tear. All right, so we're gonna have fun with that when we add our players to Coach's Couch. That's coming back, of course. I love that segment. Hopefully, I could do something with a little bit more interaction with Coach's Couch, like having the pictures zoom in or something like that. We'll I'm working with the team, getting my what's the word I'm looking for? Get my editing working. You know what I mean? So coach is working on editing. So we'll hopefully have a little something there for you guys here soon with Coach's Couch. That'll be really fun if I can get a really fun edit to bring in the players. But before we get started with our welcome back, we do have some more business to conduct. So without further ado, we're going to jump right back into our season predictions for the NFL team. So today we're discussing the NFC North and the AFC North. Now, 2 strong divisions. One's just having some youth chemistry that they got to get. We have 1, 2 new quarterbacks. We have a second, third year quarterback, and then there's golf, the highest paid in that division. Like that one. Don't get me wrong. Jettas is the highest paid, in everywhere. But it's the fact that Jared Goff is the highest paid quarterback in the NFC North. I want y'all to listen to that. You understand what I'm telling you? Jared Goff, he's been to a Super Bowl, to which he choked because he showed to everybody in the entire world, I don't like to get hit. But he's been to a Super Bowl. I want to say he's been to 3 playoffs, but he shouldn't have got that kind of money. So the one that's not the highest paid is the one I actually have winning this division anyway. So I mean, go figure. It ain't Detroit. I have them, I think, of course, second place. I think they have a pretty delightful schedule. But I do have them in second place in that division. And you got pretty much Minnesota and Chicago fighting for dog scratch because they have 2 rookies, to which one should have honestly went ahead and been I don't know why the Patriots didn't take J.J. McCarthy. And personally, and if it wouldn't have worked, oh well. But personally, me, I got my jewelry backwards. Let me fix that. My daughter killed me. I got my jewelry backwards. She said, "You got to show the Star Wars, Daddy." There you go. All right, so Patriots should have went for J.J. McCarthy. I would have went for the whole Michigan trend. Honestly, I would have followed it. It worked for you for 6 Super Bowls. I mean, don't get me wrong. What we gonna sit here and say? Why would he do? He ain't Tom Brady. Okay, Tom Brady wasn't Tom Brady when he was a rookie, was he? No, but he went to a great organization with a great system. When he got his number called, then he stayed there. He won 6 Super Bowls. I'm just saying, I would have went with the whole Michigan tie. See if it'll work again. With great skill and athleticism comes a bit of luck, people. I mean, you think the Patriots just knew they were going to win 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady? Come on, bro. You know Tom Brady really wasn't starting to air the ball out until after 3 rings? Y'all didn't think about that, huh? He had 4 Super Bowls with 3 of those as champions, right? Because he won 2 back-to-back, lost, and then won. 3 and 4 years, right? Do you know that man couldn't throw the ball down the field? Tom Brady didn't start throwing the ball down the field until Wes Welker and Randy Moss got there. Now, he was getting the ball down the field. I'm not saying the boy ain't never thrown a 60, 80 yard down the field. How many more did he have with them 2 there? You see what I'm saying? Now, the notion that he couldn't do it, that was stupid. I couldn't believe that stuff was coming out of analyst's mouth. And it's almost like it was a trade bait thing to get Randy Moss from the Raiders to the Patriots. I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird the way they were mouthing it because all of a sudden now he's airing it out. But he could always air it out. You just got to have the right people to do it, right? But let's think about that. He didn't start becoming more of what we love until then. And that was after years. That was after he's already won 3. So the first 3, he wasn't that kind of Tom Brady. That first 3 was the defense. It was Corey Dillon, the running back. And it was Tom Brady's game management with the offensive coordinators and the Patriot way of how they ran the offense, the system. All of it went together. And then eventually, Tom Brady became Tom Brady. And that's okay. He ain't going to have it. So why you couldn't just follow the dang on trend? Now, I am worried about both Minnesota and Chicago just due to, look, I always say you can't listen to every comment, but there are some comments that sneak in. You be like, brother, yeah, you got to do that. You got to do that. When you watch J.J. McCarthy throw that horrible pitch, it's like, bloody what? Most quarterbacks have a beautiful baseball pitch. I want people to understand that. Like, how do you think they throw the spiral so beautifully? It's because of those 90-mile-an-hour fastballs they were throwing in baseball. You know, let me tell you, when I was coaching, and I would hear every time I got a quarterback, guess where he was? Guess who I did not have for minicamp? He was there for training camps and for the season. Guess what I didn't have for my minicamps? The quarterbacks. Why? They're in baseball. Baseball season's also in the summer. I don't get them till after baseball season ends, and then they can come to training camp. But minicamps, unless there's games, unless they're not in the playoffs, those pitchers are coming to practice, but they're coming to your minicamp, bro. Okay, they throwing balls right now, and then they're gonna come throw that beautiful spiral for you when it's time. So when I saw that throw, it was horrible. It's kind of hideous. And then you got Caleb Williams. And it's just like Keenan Allen left the Chargers, right? He left Justin Herbert, right? He left the guy that knew how to get him the ball. He wanted to be the number one over there in Chicago. That's fine. They got a rookie. You got excited. He threw you an open pass with no pressure. There was no pressure on him. And it was underthrown. He had to go back and go get it. And the words that came out your mouth was, oh, hell no. Like, no, the cameras are everywhere. We can hear everything. No, you can't say that. Now, look, I ain't heard much about it since that. Like, you ever, so we'll see. Training camp is going on. They're talking. They're practicing right now. We'll see. But it's little comments like that. You be like, and listen, I was not big on JJ McCarthy going to Minnesota. Why? What is JJ McCarthy was successful in Michigan because of the coach, the running game, the defense, and the receiving weapons that he had. You take the running back away and leave JJ McCarthy out there to throw the ball, which I don't know happened. I think 2 years prior to that, because at the end of the season, I think they were just losing people to injury, i.e. running backs, and he got hurt, I think, a couple of times and couldn't finish the season. But when pieces miss, he depletes. I don't like it. Now, with a team that's built already and already has pieces for you to come in and just game manage, Patriots, you can even say Seattle, to be honest with you, they're kind of just sitting there waiting for a quarterback. If you look at that Seattle Seahawks team, bro, They got the receivers, they got the running backs. Their defense is actually becoming a new formidable force. It's not the 12-man anymore, but they're making their own identity over there. That's another team that's just missing a quarterback. So, look, J.J. McCarthy going to Minnesota means nothing. They're not going to be successful. They don't have a running back. Their defense is still suspect. They have Jettas that they paid a lot of money to. And it's just, I mean, where else do they have? There's really nothing in Minnesota right now. You kept the wide receiver happy. That's about all you did. So those two teams are going to be fighting for scraps at the bottom. One will get 7, one will get 5 wins. But I think this division in a whole belongs to Green Bay and Detroit. What up, Teddy? How we doing, my man? That's right. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right on into our season predictions. And the team we're going to go with the NFC North first. And let's see, we're going to start with, let's start with the Packers, I guess. Bears. Let's start with the Bears. Let's go with the Bears. All right, Chicago, you are, they're the team. I got Chicago with 5 wins and 12 losses this season. 5 of those wins are at home. I'll give them that. They're not winning anything on the road. They have a really tough road schedule. They got Green Bay on the road, Minnesota on the road. But I have them splitting anyway with their division. But they got San Francisco on the road. They have Arizona on the road, Washington on the road. And that game is a toss-up. It's week 8, right after their bye week in week 7. And depending on what Washington is doing, it could be a win for them, but it's a away game. So, we'll see. And then Trevor Lawrence has to prove that he got all that money for a reason. So he should be beating the Bears at home. So this is a away game. Excuse me. So the way, I think that's week 6. I think that's why they have a bye week in week 7. That's the overseas game. Yeah, that's the overseas game. And if I'm not mistaken, Jacksonville that's their home. So they don't necessarily lose overseas. So I have them losing to Jacksonville away, Indianapolis away, and the Texans away. And I got them losing at home to Tennessee. I might change that one because I don't have a big. Oh no! I like Tennessee. Not a lot. I like them enough to beat the Bears. So yeah, I got the Bears winning 5 games this year. Not really much going on with them. But okay, it's a rookie quarterback. The starting wide receiver didn't like a pass coming from him. The defense is good. Chicago defense is good. They're sneaky good. I like what the coach was rebuilding over there. They've gotten some weapons and they got some running backs. It just really all depends on what the rookie can do with this team and how far he can go with the team. And I'm just sorry, a rookie in Chicago and the NFC North. Not big. It's not much I'm expecting from you. You know what I mean? 5 games is a lot for a rookie in his situation, to be quite honest with you. And the reason why I say that is because there's a potential for upwards of 3 more games. You know, if you're in 5 games, right, it's somewhere where you still got a lot of football left. You're actually in the window to grab a couple more. So the thing is, I only have them winning I have them in the first 6 weeks. I only have them winning once. So if they can change that narrative, that's 6 wins right there with maybe one more potential to steal another one. You know, but I even haven't beaten New England because I don't know. Like New England has the package, but I'm not big on their quarterback. I'm not big on any rookies, to be quite honest with you. I mean, let's not sugarcoat that. None of these rookies impress me. It's going to be a tough season for them. It really is. If any of them have backs that they can lean on, because I think this is going to be a good running back here. Y'all already know why. The NFL coming for the linebackers with their stupid rule. So we already know them running backs are going to gash the middle of the field this year. Be ready. Running back in fantasy. We'll talk more about that later. All right, so Bears, I have you going 5-12. 5-12, yeah. They got cold beer in Minnesota. That's about all they got, buddy. Cold beer and Jetta. So I hope they enjoy it. Oh my God. I hope they enjoy it. Look, there's one thing I always say when I look at somebody say, "Ooh, I can play quarterback." Oh yeah. And I watch you throw a football, and it looks beautiful, right? Then I say, now let me see what you do with the pads on and that helmet. Because let me tell you something. I have seen a kid throw a beautiful football to me back and forth. We was kid I was training, he was gonna be a quarterback. Bro, that boy put pads on for the first time. He couldn't lift his dang on arm up, and not one time could he throw a good ball. I said, "Oh, we're in trouble." It was about the first year of ever coaching football. Oh, it was horrible. So I learned something that day. That's good. You sure can. Put them pads on. Let me see what your arm can do. I would never fall for that again. You don't have them beating the Pats, do you? I do. I have them beating the Patriots because it's a home game for Chicago. I'm not sure with the rookie in New England with a new coach and a new regime and all that. You know, I'm not really sure what this rookie can do with everything being new in New England, to be quite honest with you. Like, you only got the owner, the only thing that's old, and that doesn't mean nothing when it comes to him throwing a football. Is Bill O'Brien still there? If that is, that's going to be the worst. Let me go check that right now. Bill O'Brien. Where are you? Are you still a New England Patriot? Where are you at? Where are you at? Bill O'Brien. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay. Where is Bill O'Brien coaching now? Where's Bill O'Brien coaching? There we go. Okay, so it looks like he went and took his behind back to college where he belongs because he's with Boston College. And that's fine because Boston College got a. And this is what I'll tell you. I'm so weird. Let me tell you something. I know you belong. Put it that way. Okay? And if you don't belong in the NFL, you just don't belong in the NFL. He didn't belong in the NFL. College, I loved what he did with Penn State. And it's so funny because I know what he's going to be able to do with Boston College. But he can't do it in the NFL. Some guys just cannot make it at that level. It's just what it is. Hey, what's good, my man? All right, so we've got Chicago Bears at 5-12. All right, let's move over to let's go to Minnesota next. Let's go to the Vikings. Let's see. Again, no running back. Defense is still suspect. They have receivers and tight end. Their line is okay. Their line is good, actually, right? They have a good line. They have a good offensive line. And then they got J.J. McCarthy. So what does that all mean? For Minnesota, I told you they fight for scraps, right? One is going to win 5 games, the other one's going to win 7. I got Minnesota winning 7. I got Chicago winning 5. Minnesota winning 7. It's so funny because I pretty much got Minnesota and Chicago. Their first 6 weeks pretty much look the same. They get 1 win. They get 1 win because they're going. Minnesota going bye week in week 6. So their first 5 weeks, they're 1-5. They got the Giants week 1, and then they got San Francisco, Houston, Green Bay on the road, and then the Jets. Like, good luck, Minnesota. When I told y'all Kirk Cousins' biggest problem with Minnesota is the fact that he can put up 35 points and the defense can give up 38, what you think is going to happen now? McCarthy ain't no Kirky. You know what I mean? It's going to be pretty bad for Minnesota this year. I don't think the coach is getting fired. Not putting that voodoo out there. There's a lot more people than line, Dabo, for firing this year. If success is not, at the top of the list, some people losing their jobs. Some coaches are going to be losing their jobs this year, but it shouldn't be Minnesota's coach. Not yet, anyway. Got to see what he can do with McCarthy. It's got to be good this year, but again, 7 wins for a rookie ain't bad. 7 wins for a brand new contract. You got to pay, so you should be happy. Keep your mouth shut and let the season do what it do. 7 wins is all y'all get. Y'all not going. Minnesota's not going nowhere in the playoffs. They don't. Again, they have nothing in the backfield at all. Nothing there. I don't know how they're running the ball this year. It's going to be rough, especially. Let's see, what's their road? Yeah, I got them winning 3 games on the road. They got a pretty tough road schedule. They got Detroit on the road, Chicago, but they're splitting with Chicago as well as Detroit. Who else? They got Rams on the road. They got Green Bay on the road. Who else was it on the road? No, they're 4 on the road. Their home schedule sucks. I'm so sorry. They got San Francisco, Houston, the Jets at home. Those are 3 home games. That's hey, I feel so bad for you. It's a pretty tough home schedule. Who else is on the home? They got the Colts at home. I have them losing to the Colts, but I don't know. That can go either way. Arizona, they're at home against Arizona. I haven't losing to Arizona, but that's week 13. And Arizona does kind of they do bad in the late season. But we'll see. I don't know. It's a new Arizona with a new coach. We'll see. I'm right now going to leave it as a loss because I have a little bit more faith in Arizona than I do Minnesota. How about that? And then I got them losing to Atlanta. Atlanta with Kirky. Hey, and you know what? I'm going to like this game because Kirk Cousins know that defense. All to it in Minnesota. Hey, Kirk might put up 45 on that defense. I'm serious. This might be that week he go off because he knows the defense very well. He knows how bad it is, So if Atlanta and his offense in Atlanta and they're basically gatewaying themselves into the playoffs because of how great this Atlanta team is going to be. I have Atlanta in the playoffs this year with Kirk Cousins. I said Kirk Cousins didn't need to get paid with his old behind because that was too much money to give to an old quarterback who's not winning you a Super Bowl. You gave up too much money to not win the Super Bowl. You're not winning the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. I really need you to understand that. You're going to have a great season. You're going to go to the playoffs. And you might even go to the playoffs next year. You're not winning the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. You pay too much money. Okay? Anyway, that's my story. So I have Kirk Cousins winning that game. I have Atlanta winning the game. They're going to be anything as strong as I think they should be. They'll win that game. Because Eagles head coach. What you mean, Teddy? All right. Now let's move over to the Lions. Let's move over to the Lions schedule. Detroit. Now, their schedule ain't hard. It's not easy. And the fact that I got them winning 10 games means they can lose 2 of those. So, here's what I mean. I don't believe in Jared Goff at all. I don't believe he should have got all that money. Again, I felt like he peaked in the game last year with 5 interceptions, and the only reason why they won that game is because of that amazing running back that they had back there who scored an extra 3 touchdowns on his own because the quarterback couldn't do nothing. So, that was a lot of money y'all gave to this guy. A lot of money. And I only have winning 10 games. I was looking for games, by the way, because it's not an easy schedule. We got week 1 against the Rams, week 2 against Tampa Bay, but I gave them a win against both of those. It was early in the season. I think they're stronger early in the season. They got Arizona. I gave them a win. They got Monday night against Seattle. That's another win. Then they got a bye week in week 5. Week 6, they got another win. So they're 6-0 or 5-0, right, to start the season. Then they got 2 divisional away games. If they end up losing those 2, which I give them those 2 losses, Green Bay Packers and Minnesota Vikings. Tennessee is a home win. To the 7-1, they have a pretty easy home schedule. It's their away games. They got Buffalo away, San Francisco away. I even got to lose to Jacksonville at home, to which they could turn around. So I take that back. They got 10 wins with possible 11 or 12 wins they can actually get. Or they can keep it at 10-11 if they lose 1 or 2 of the games that I already have it winning and they, capitalize on another end. But yeah, 10-7, second place in the division. Not a bad record for Detroit Lions. They don't need 13 wins, 14 wins. They're not here to do that. They're here to play football, manage the clock. This dude just had a big season, the head coach, so of course he has to repeat this. And again, I got Detroit in the playoffs, but you gave Jared Goff too much money to not win the Super Bowl. This is my whole point about paying these quarterbacks all this money. You're not winning the Super Bowl. You're not doing it. You're not doing it, bro. Pat don't count. Pat won the Super Bowl before he got paid. Then he lost one. Then he won another one. Okay. Other than that, like it's something that doesn't happen often, bro. Like you don't get the quarterback doesn't get all that money. You just we got a Super Bowl. No. You don't have any money. And if you don't win, then that's years piled up on a contract that are not turning over any value, i.e. Buffalo. I've been screaming this since 2020 that he got overpaid. Josh Allen, overpaid. You overpaid a guy who has the most touchdowns, the most interceptions every single year. That's what you paid $280-something million to. You said you paid all that money to Arizona's quarterback for what? Now he was out with a tear and Call of Duty in his hand. He ain't had nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. He got hurt. What you gonna say now? You paid him already. Yeah, Brokeback Flacco had to go out there and put his body on the line every week before he got a contract. Brady had to go out there every week and still won't get no contract. Hey, man didn't get paid. Drew Brees got paid once. After he won. A lot of them got paid after they won, which is what you're supposed to do. Because now you know how to win. Now, so that's what we paid you. So go do it again. You did it with this. You see, there's a big difference in how you pay these players. You pay them up front, well, 33 touchdowns is all you're going to get for $285 million. Not 50 touchdowns, not 5,200 passing yards, no, 4,200, 4,300 yards. That's it. That's it. The bare average. Because I'm going to get paid off this average. That's the people can blame the NBA, how they paying people. The NFL has its own mind. They have their own mind. Y'all decided to stop paying running backs so you have all this extra money. And then you just forcing quarterbacks to throw the ball 50 times. That's supposed to make the game even better. Like, oh, wow, that's enough. Because show me a successful quarterback who threw that ball 50 times in the game and even won. You don't need throw the ball like 35 times. Let the running back do most of that work. You don't need to throw the ball 35 times. It's not like you throw the ball 50 times, right? Is any of the receivers catching 20? No. You know who did catch 20? The air. The air caught 20. You want to know how I know? Because you completed 35 and incomplete 35 out of 54. So you threw the ball 54 times. And you only completed 33 passes. So the air caught the rest of that. And that's if 3 of those were interceptions, by the way. I don't know. It's becoming more of a paid sport than anything now. But anyway, so let's get back to business. Let's see. I have 10-7 for Detroit. Maybe 11. I don't think 12. Maybe 11. Because I think they can steal one from Jacksonville. I already have beaten Tennessee. Yeah, Jacksonville will be really the only steal because they're not stealing from Buffalo. And unless they can steal from Chicago twice, maybe that'll give them. Or even if they can steal from Minnesota. I don't know. I got them splitting right now because I don't know how bad Minnesota or Chicago really are going to be. So for that division right now, I have everybody splitting their divisional wins. 10-7 for the Detroit Lions. I like that. All right, so last team for the NFC North. My actual favorite, right? I can't believe I'm saying that. My favorite. I've never been a Packer favorite. That's crazy. But I love Jordan Love. I'm a big Jordan Love fan. So, hey, I move with the water. All right, so for the Green Bay Packer fans, we have a 11-6 record. That's what I think the Green Bay Packers should go. They got that first loss to the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 1, and then they backdoor with 5 wins. Carolina, or the Arizona Rams, Vikings, Tennessee, Colts. They lose to Houston in Week 7. Week 8 and 9 is Jacksonville and Detroit. Jacksonville's away, Detroit's at home, so I got both of those as wins. They got a Week 10 bye, which is nice, right in the middle of the season. Get some rest, come back away because you got too much rest, and you're gonna lose to Chicago, maybe if you don't basically beat Chicago twice. Because you do have them at the end of the season, so you could beat them now and at the end of the season, but we'll see. Or you could beat them now and lose at the end of the season because you don't need that game, which is sometimes what happens. But always remember, for paper purposes, I never give away, unless the team is just crap, I never give the away team a loss in the division. I always give everybody a win if they're home. Then they got a late afternoon home game against San Francisco, which is going to be a loss. They have a Thursday nighter against Miami, which is a win. I got them losing to Detroit on the Thursday night. They got a Week 15 and Week 16, Sunday night, Monday night, Seattle and New Orleans. I got both of those as wins. And those are going to be really two good Monday night, Sunday night games for Green Bay. Week 17 is a loss against Minnesota because it's away, and home against the Bears. Unless the away and home flip flop for Minnesota for the Packers. But I have them at 11-6. They could steal if they steal from Chicago 2 games. So basically they could go up 12. But I don't have them beating Detroit twice, and I don't maybe Minnesota twice. We'll see. They could lose to the Rams, though. I haven't beaten the Rams, but they could lose to the Rams in week 5. They could. It depends on how strong the Rams come up this year. I'm behind Matthew Stafford. Remember, my biggest issue was when he had that. That's my biggest issue with every single quarterback that has that shoulder, that elbow injury. But you got to sit out. You can't play. Because if you do, you jeopardize your team because you cannot throw the ball more than 15 yards. It's just you can't. Your elbow cannot properly extend the way you want it to. It literally stops. And that's why the ball looks like it's flapping down the field when you try to throw more than 20 yards. You can't do it. And an inaccurate quarterback like Cam Newton, they had to take that man completely. They got the rest like, nah, bro. Week 1. We saw it. Get out. Come back next year. Like, no, you can't do it. I'm sorry. Because the year after the elbow surgery, what did Cam Newton do? Cam looked pretty good, didn't he? It was the same inaccurate Cam, but he still looked good. He still made the Cam Newton throw that he was making before the injury. Same as Matthew Stafford. The year later, what did he come out and do? With Puka Nacua and oh boy, just ate it up offensively, made this team go to the playoffs, which I had no indication of them doing. With Kyrie Williams at running back. Beautiful, by the way. Good kudos to McVay. I be covering him a lot, but kudos to him for getting the team back on track. That game, they could lose to the Rams. They could lose. But that's like probably the only extra loss I'll give them with an extra win if they can beat Chicago twice. So that kind of still sticks them around the 11 win season. All right, so we are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we are going to jump right into the AFC North and have some fun with that. So please stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Han.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running. Toes, they gon' take them.
Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back from commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. All right, it is time to get into the AFC North. And I'll play a little tune I haven't heard in so long.
Turn me up. Turn.
That's my favorite one. Oh, man. All right, so let's get back into the groove. We are going with the AFC North. Now, this division here, it's kind of scary because it was really hard. It's the proper way I can say this. It was really hard trying to not give these teams wins. Because 3 of them anyway. I don't think the Steelers are going to be what we've known them to be for a while. No, they can still win 8-9 games this season. I believe what you buy into for Pittsburgh, right? The motto, the lifestyle, what Mike Tomlin built in Pittsburgh. I think it's slowly coming to an end. Not in a bad way. Don't think I'm saying he's a bad coach or he no longer needs to be in the NFL. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is I think it's time for Pittsburgh to find a new route. You know what I mean? Like, which means it's time for Tomlin to find a new team to create something beautiful again. Like, his coaching days are not numbered, nowhere near it. You can watch the Pittsburgh Steelers and still see Steelers football, but there's an element that's missing. And it's what they bought into. It's like they're over it, right? You know what I mean? They want something new, something. And that's okay. I want that. There's no indication that the coach is doing anything wrong. They still respect him. They still play for this man as hard as they can. But the identity of what they built for so long in Pittsburgh, it's slowly dying. You know what I mean? It's slowly dying. So what does that mean? Pittsburgh needs a new, fresh identity. Okay? The old ways of Pittsburgh are just dying. That's all it means. A new thing needs to be rebirthed. That's all. And what does that mean for Tomlin? The same thing. I.e., I don't know. I feel like Dabo will get fired this year during the season. Y'all telling me who gonna look me in the face? Who gonna look me in the face and tell me you wouldn't like to see Mike Tomlin coach the New York Giants? Just saying. Mike Tomlin in Denver. Just saying. It won't happen this year. It won't happen this year. Not for Tomlin anyway. The Russell Wilson project has to fail first, which it will. And he may not go anywhere. He may find a new way to revamp this team. But I'm just saying, you can tell when it's a little stale, you know. And right now, Pittsburgh's a little stale. When the Browns' schedule can look a little bit more exciting than Pittsburgh, and what you think one team will do over the other, it's getting stale. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick it off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ooh, excuse me. And let's see. Pittsburgh Steelers, we have you going. Let's see, I got them winning 9 games. And they could win one more, maybe. They would have to beat Philly or Kansas City to do it. Maybe Dallas, if they can beat Dallas. They might be able to beat Dallas. Well, I got 9 wins, and this is with Russell Wilson. Okay, this is with everything they got at the running back. This is with the receivers that they have and the defense that they have. And I ain't gonna win 9 games. Remember now, back in the day, where was Pittsburgh in the playoffs? How many wins did Pittsburgh have? 9. This one was 9-7. So what did they do to do it? They won the division. That's what is important, is winning the division. And I had the division split, so that means somebody does have to take one over the other to win it, obviously. But yeah, I got them winning 9 games this season. Not too shabby with a new quarterback. 2 anyway, but one of them they're returning punts at practice. I don't know what that's about, but they're tougher games. I got them losing to Atlanta week 1. Then I got them losing to the Chargers week 3, Dallas in week 5, Cleveland an away game in week 12, Cincinnati away, Philly away, Baltimore away, Kansas City at home. Like, it's a tough schedule. It's not easy, but 9 wins can come out of it. And I don't think they're going to get into the playoffs, though. The AFC is going to be pretty stacked with wins for certain teams. That everybody else to get in the wild card weekend, you're going to have 10. You're going to have 10, 11 wins to get in. I'm sorry. It's going to be compiled with a lot of 12s, 13s, I think. So yeah, you got to have a little bit extra in your arsenal. If you're at the bottom, 9 wins ain't gonna do it anymore. It'll give you a winning record, but it's not getting you into the playoffs. So no, I don't see Pittsburgh in the playoffs this year. I do think they're gonna miss it again. Yeah. Because this division I'm trying to find one. I'm trying to find another win, and I can't. And then so okay, let's go over to Cleveland. Cleveland is looking a little better. They have 2 more wins over the Steelers, right? So if the Steelers, let's say the Steelers can steal 2 games out of the Browns in the division, that puts Pittsburgh up and that puts the Browns down actually. But it's gonna kind of have to be that kind of dogfight in this division because the division is going to be very important here. Because depending on where you are record-wise, as long as you win this division, that is the most important. Again, Cincinnati got 13 wins, but if Pittsburgh got more wins in that division, guess who's the number 1 seed? You see what I'm saying? Or number 1 for that division. So divisional wins are probably the most important thing you can actually do in football rather than stack up wins. And Pittsburgh has that in spades now. They do have, that's what I said. I have them at 9-8. I'm not scared. I think they could miss the playoffs with 9 wins because, with the way AFC stacks wins, you got to win the division or you got to get in with 10 wins. So for the Cleveland Browns, I got them going 11-6. They have a pretty good, easy front end schedule, and it's the back end that's just a little bit messy. Specifically, the last 5 games, I only got them going 1-5 or 1-4. Because I got losing to Baltimore last game, Cincinnati 2 games before that. They got the Chiefs and Pittsburgh away, but Chiefs are at home. But I got them losing both of those games. I got them losing to the Chargers in Week 9. I have them losing to Philly Week 6. 6-2 at home, 5-4 on the road. 11 wins. And I actually like the Browns this year. You got Nick Chubb coming back. You got some good receivers. Your quarterback is healthy. Should be ready to go. That's the big deciding factor for all these wins here. These 11 wins is if Watson's finally ready to play football. My God. All that money, you ain't played football yet. But hopefully you're ready to go. But I got them with 11 wins and 6 losses on their season this year. They got a pretty decent schedule, quite honestly. I mean, their wins are against the Saints. Their divisional wins are at home. They got the Broncos as a win. Washington is a win. Raiders are a win. Giants, Jacksonville, Cowboys. So it's not a hard schedule. Outside of their division, the Browns do not have a hard schedule. Let's see. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to do them next. I'm going to say the best for that. We're going to do Cincinnati Bengals. Why? Well, Cincinnati got a lot to prove to me. I'm sorry. I gave Cincinnati I don't know. I gave them a lot of wins. I gave Cincinnati 13 wins, but I don't know. The schedule's not hard. The schedule's not hard at all. Nah, that's not hard at all. Like outside of the division, it's the Patriots, the Chiefs, and I have beat the Chiefs week 2 because I think they can beat the Chiefs. I think Cincinnati can handle the Chiefs very well. They have before. They usually do. So it's week 2. That's why I give it to them. If there's a loss in there, it'd be that. They got Washington. They got Carolina. They got Baltimore at home. Another win is the Raiders. They got the Chargers. That's another toss-up, but I gave them the win. Cowboys, Tennessee, the Broncos. Like, that's just – like a perfect date. So yeah, I got them going. I got Cincinnati 13-4. Look, they have a lot to prove. That they have the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. He's had one healthy season since he's been in the league. Not sure what they have at running back. It's not Joe Mixon, obviously. They don't have Tyler Boyd anymore. They still have two of the best wide receivers, I think, in T. Higgins and in DeMar Chase. We just gotta see them do it. It's like outside of that one year they went to the Super Bowl, like, why did Cincinnati really? You know, they stay hurt. So I'm giving them a lot of these wins because of on paper, healthy, no injuries, nothing going on with this beautiful riddled body schedule they got here. I mean, it's 13 wins easy on paper. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. 13 wins for the Cincinnati Bengals. And last but not least, the divisional champs, the Baltimore Ravens. Let's see. They're another one. It was really hard trying to find losses, bro. Like, it was really hard. I got 3. Maybe 4 if Philly can beat them. And maybe even 5 losses if Cincinnati can beat them week 1. I mean, Kansas City can beat them week 1, which I don't think. Maybe even Buffalo. So it's like there's a problem. I mean, because like Baltimore is a very tough team. Like, you can't just come in here thinking you're gonna just throw a lot of points on Baltimore. It's not gonna happen. But here's the problem: if you don't, you lost. If you let Lamar Jackson keep that score so close in this fourth quarter, you lost. I don't care what you do, you lost. Because where you ran out of gas, he's gained more momentum. It's his style of game. He doesn't exert himself at all. I don't know. Do y'all watch football? The kid does not exert himself at all until the fourth quarter when he's supposed to, because that's where he uses all his. That's why there was that one play where he got so mad because when people saw him trip up and not score, that was all he had left in the tank. He ain't had enough to get that. You know what I mean? And he knew it. Because in that game he did, didn't he? All them overtime way on you, but you got to think that's just where he makes his money. That's where he makes his money, baby. It is in the fourth quarter and overtime. Because again, you got all game to do what you want. But if you can't even do that against Baltimore, then you wasted all that for nothing, bro. Because defensively, they're so hard to score on. Okay, they just are. Top 10, top 5 defense in the league. So outside of their divisional losses, I don't have them losing. No. Outside of their divisional losses, I don't have them losing. I think they're stronger than everybody. I think they're stronger than the Texans. I think they're stronger than the Eagles. I think they're stronger than their division. I think they're stronger than Buffalo. And I think they're stronger than Kansas City. And it's Kansas City, Buffalo, and Philly. Maybe the Chargers, who I think could do something, but I don't think they will. And maybe Houston, but I don't think they will. Maybe one of those. If anything, it's Houston because it's at the end of the season. If they're healthy and somebody's not, maybe. But you know, it's kind of hard to see what the Houston Texans are going to be at Week 17. Not really. You got Stephon Diggs. See, that's what I was going to say. Something. You got Stephon Diggs, so you have you solidified the number one. And Tank Dell is going to be very healthy when he comes back because he's going to have time to recover because you got Stephon Diggs, and then you still got Noah and I forgot what. you still got a slew of receivers there in Houston, so I still can't give you the win because of Baltimore defense. The defense is something serious. So it could be Houston, it could be Philly, Buffalo, or the Chiefs, but I'm gonna still keep it at 14-3 for the fun of it. I got Baltimore winning 14 games. The only losses I have them winning is their divisional loss. All right, so now that we have gone through the AFC North and the AFC South, I mean the NFC North and the NFC South, NFC North and AFC North. Oh my goodness, 2 northern divisions. My gosh, it is time to welcome everyone back to season 2 of FFC. I'm so excited, guys. Again, I'm very, very excited. So we have a lot. We got a lot. It's gearing up for fantasy football. I do have some disappointing news. Due to my time here at Disney, I won't be able to do Dynasty or what's the other one? IDP leagues. I haven't had time to research and do my homework on those things before I joined in the league, so not doing those. So we're sticking with the same old 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 18 team leagues. Now, as it pertains to spreads, you can ask Coach anything you want as it pertains like should you take this bet or those those weekend game bonus stuff. Like if you want to hit Coach up, like Coach, they're telling me take the over under 3 for 33 on this receiver. I'll tell you, yeah, take it. He should get 5 catches for this. All right, nah, I don't do that. Just because of some of those numbers they want to get you so you can lose. So I don't know how to look at those properly. You're like, no, don't take that one. But I won't host anything specific. I'll basically answer any betting questions that you guys have. But this year we're sticking to strictly fantasy. Setting you guys up for success. Hopefully we're not doing 30-second drafts again. Okay. In at least 45 seconds, man. Get a brother time to use the brain. Set up the queue. Hey, set up your queue. Because you got some leagues out there. They want you to hurry up and pick. All right. Can't do nothing about that. League owner does what he wants. He sets the rules, okay? But speaking of rules, all I wanted to do is take some time here and as we talk fantasy football, talk about fantasy football. Like talk about the rules, talk about what you can expect if this is your first time. If you never played this, never played this before in your life, and you want to understand what fantasy football is, that's what the show is for. We're gonna break it down for you, and then we're gonna set you up for success. As soon as I find out where okay, there we go. So look, what fantasy football is, it's made up football. It's a game that you play, guessing what you think a person can do. Yeah, you're using live stats, previous stats. There's nothing future, so that's the part you're guessing on. You're guessing on the future, okay? But it's a fun game that a lot of people enjoy. That they get together and they get to compete. You're basically putting your brain against other people's brain. Is what you're doing. Okay, you're putting what you think against what somebody else thinks. Okay, and if your thought process is better, guess what? You win week 1, they don't. But obviously, you can't bank on what you did week 1 against week 2 because you got a different opponent, right? So fantasy football is basically you're drafting and you're running a team based off of players you've watched in real football that you expect or think they're going to do each week and gain points for your team for you to beat your opponent. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And it can't get more simple. You pick on a player based off what you think they did, based off what they did last year, what you think they're going to do now. How many points? You can't really guesstimate points, but you can guesstimate their stats. Like if you think a quarterback is going to throw for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns, you can count what you believe those points will end up being at the end of the game, which we'll get into. Because fantasy football is built off of a point system. Some points I don't agree with. Some points I like. But that's basically what it is. You're drafting players based off of a point system in a game built for you to beat your friend. And I like beating my friends in football. So I love fantasy football. And the funny thing is, a lot of people play fantasy football, right? And somehow they completely forget football. Like, I've watched people get players, right, based on some information, based off what they think. And then I'm looking at them like, bro, do you watch football? Why would you do that? What makes you think this guy is that? And of course, it's not. You know, then you're sitting there with this player on your bench that you drafted third, and you can't do nothing with. Because your thought process was built on a lie, based off what analysts were saying, because they want to boost up the stock of a player. Don't ever buy into that. Don't ever buy into it. Here's an example, right? The team who sucks at running, no matter who is back there, they've had really good running back, can't run the ball. They've had obviously sucky running back, so it looks even worse, right? And then you get excited because you see that this team drafted a rookie running back with their first pick. Mind you, you forget they don't have an offensive line. They don't have a quarterback. They can't run the ball in this league, and they have never before. And you think because a rookie is there who has nothing, and they're just going to feed him because of what he did in college, this was a great number one pick, Bijan Robinson, right? That's what y'all did? And I told y'all to stay away from that. I told you. It didn't. How did it look for you? How did Bijan Robinson look last year for you? When your running back is 80% of your offense and he's a rookie, good luck. They're going to take the ball away from him. Then what did they do? How many games were y'all sitting here just cringing because you had this number one running back that you drafted that you can't use? Oh, no, you used him. He gave you that. Gave you a big old donut. Look, I told y'all, don't do it. Don't do it. You go for running backs where you know that's all that team does. They can't do nothing else but run the ball. That's the one I want. Then I want those running backs that can catch. That's what I'm getting next. Because I need PPR points. And there's a difference between PPR and standard. If you need a running back to catch, you play PPR. If you want solid running back stats, solid receiver stats, so no PPR, that means the receiver ain't even getting points for the catch. He's just getting points for yards and touchdowns. That's standard league. That's tough. Some of y'all ain't built to play standard league. I'm going to tell you that right now. That's why they made this PPR, because some of y'all cry too much. Sorry. Standard league is not easy, bro. You know how hard it is to look at a guy like Todd Gurley, right? But in standard league, he had 15 catches. He caught the ball 8 times in PPR. Those are 8 points, right? On top of those 8 points, he had 50 yards catching. So you add all that up, right? Take half of those points away from receiving, because in standard league, he don't get points for catching. 8 points meant a lot to that league, didn't it? Yeah. 8 points could be the definition of you winning and losing. So standard league ain't built for the weak. I'm going to tell you that right now. But then there's another thing that people don't pay attention to. Like my first year playing, I didn't have Peyton Manning, but what I wondered was, how is it that somebody has Peyton Manning, and Peyton Manning is putting up mad points that year when he was with Denver? Like that year he broke 50, he threw for 55 touchdowns, right? Why did nobody have Eric Decker? And was it Julian Edelman? Was it Eric Decker and Julian Edelman? I want to say it was, because I know I had both. I had both of Peyton Manning's 2 wide receivers that he was feeding both of them the ball. It was like the Puka Nacua and oh, I'm so mad I forgot his name. But the duo right now in the Rams. That's what it looked like, basically. I'm so mad. But anyway, that's what it looked like. And I had both of them. And I was in first place. I didn't lose in the playoffs. I lost in the playoffs because I was learning. I did my first year, and I didn't realize to reset my lineup, because that's how I lost, because somebody didn't play and so it was something weird. But first year playing, I was in first place, and that's why I lost, because I didn't understand the playoff format. I'll take it. Because I made strategic decisions, because I know football. Don't ever forget about football just because it's fantasy. You still have, like, why would you? Why? I mean, nobody in that league had none of these receivers. They had Peyton. Dude had Peyton. You're not going to get none of the guys that are catching this ball? I'll take them. I'll take both of them. Thank you. Like, I'm a waiver wire beast, so don't play with me. Bijan did well for me last year. He balled out at the end, but it was here's the thing. With your number one pick, did you win playoffs? Because not one, I don't think anybody with Bijan Robinson won the championship last year. Why? Because those were too many losses they had for Bijan missing games. Look, your number one pick missing 3 games because they just took the ball out of his hands, that's a lot of games you're losing. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not taking that kind of risk when I can get another rookie 4 picks later for the same exact amount of yards and value. And who was that? Oh, I don't know. Detroit's running back. Because why? They didn't start him off at the beginning of the season, did they? Nope. Which I told y'all. If you watched Coach last year, who did I say was going to be the starter? Montgomery. I said that emphatically. I said they're going to work the rookie in. What happened when they worked the rookie in? He balled out and took off. And if you had that rookie on your roster, guess where you were? You were in the playoffs, and you most likely won the Super Bowl. How do I know that? Because 3 of the people out of 8 that told me they won a championship, they had old boy from Detroit. The ones that barely made it, the third placers, they had Bijan. And I get it. I mean, third place is great, right? But in the championship. And I'm here for you to win a championship. So if I'm here for you to win a championship, last year, if you watch me and my ranking show, I kept Bijan in the first round. Why did I keep him in the first round? Due to the fact that he will be 80% of the offense and he will get all the touches. However, I also said stay away from him because what you think he's going to do for a culmination of a season, he will not. I even said, if Atlanta wins 7 games, those 7 games are because of Bijan. Means that's not enough for you to be drafting him first round. You see my point? If Bijan's reason was that team won 11 games, hell yeah, you take him first round. But 7 games, your running back is the reason why you only won 7 games? I don't want that running back. That means those 7 games are really the only games you really balled out. So where are the rest of them? They took the ball away from you. Or you had, barely 15, barely 13. I don't need that from a number 1 pick. I need Christian McCaffrey numbers from a number 1 pick. That's what I need. I haven't that many running backs really sitting here and brag about it because Eckler didn't do a damn thing last year. There wasn't even any running backs last year. Let's just be honest about that. Based on the running back that were there, yeah, you could say Bijan was it. But again, for fantasy purposes, I wouldn't have taken him. This year, I'm putting Christian McCaffrey 1, but I will argue that I would take Bijan Robinson with my first pick. He has a quarterback, Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins loves throwing the ball to running backs. Kirk Cousins also loves tight ends. So what does that also mean? The guy I told y'all to stay away from last year, who y'all think I'm telling y'all to pick up this year? You have to flow with the waves in the ocean when it comes to fantasy football. And I've never been a big fan of that tight end over Atlanta. I've been on him, and I've never come for him. I just said Atlanta wasted that pick, and he should have never gone to Atlanta. He could have went anywhere else and been successful. He should have never gone to Atlanta. Well, now Atlanta got a quarterback. And I'm okay with it because this quarterback loves tight ends. So everything that Kirk loves is in Atlanta right now. So Atlanta is a prime suspect and target for fantasy, i.e. Drake London. Because why? We all know Kirk Cousins get the ball down the field. Look at Jettis. So I think, again, Atlanta this year is going to be something to look at. And that includes now Bijan Robinson. And yes, I put in Bijan Robinson at least absolutely in the top 3 for running backs, possibly top 5 for players if there's somebody receiving wise that'll sneak up in the top 5. It won't be Judge. No, don't do that. He got paid. One thing you never do, you never take the guy that got paid, especially when you got a quarterback like J.J. McCartney who can't throw a pitch. Let me stop. E-ball. Now, that was good. If you ever get Bijan and Detroit's running back, that was good. But again, that third place is because of Bijan. And you had Amon-Ra St. Brown, so that's good. And I'm telling you this year, too, Amon-Ra St. Brown should do exactly what he did last year. I have him in my top 5 for receivers. So for me, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a second-round draft pick. He's not a first-rounder. But he's a high second-round, depending on what league. Now, if you're in a 12-man, 14, 16-man league, then yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a first-round pick. And we'll get into all that, too. I teach you guys how to draft between the 8-man all the way up to the 16, okay? 8-man is for beginners. If you've been playing this fantasy football like 12 years and you still playing in the 8-man league, buddy, we need to have a really serious talk, okay, about your free time. That needs to stop. You need something a little bit more challenging in your life, okay? All right, so let's get into the offensive scoring, right? So for offensive players, for a quarterback, it's 1 point for every 25 yards. I hate that. Here's why I hate it. Because of PPR. I hate it because of PPR. If y'all, that's why I stay in the league. That's why they made PPR, right? Too many people were mad that receivers are catching all these balls, right? But you have 7 catches and only 30 yards, and now they not, right? So you want 10 points because you want them 7 plus them 3s? Really? So if the receiver can get them 10 points so quickly, right? Why can't a running back get a half a point for a carry? Don't give him a full point for a carry. That's crazy. I'd give him a half a point for a carry, though. And then why can't a quarterback get 1 point for every 5 completions? Or a half a point per completion? It's like fantasy football, and I do hate this because it caters to receivers. It caters to them, and nobody else in football gets any kind of this treatment. Yeah, it's like if you're gonna bend the rules so these crybabies can get their little 10 points for a flex position, man, you should be bending the rules for everybody to have a little fun. You really should. Running backs, with all the work that they do in that backfield, you telling me you can't give them a half a point of carry? But you send receivers back there to carry, so give them that same half point. I'm not trying to take away, but if you want to give it. Make the point system fun for everyone, not just the receivers. Because you got quarterbacks putting in all this work, and they only get points if they have 1 point for every 25 yards. So they got to have a 300-yard game to do anything. And then they better score at least 2 touchdowns. Because a passing touchdown for a quarterback is only 4 points. So they don't even get 6 points for like a rushing touchdown or receiving touchdown. They get 4 points for a passing touchdown. All right, so for rushing, you get 1 point for every 10 yards, and that's fine. Let's see. Rushing touchdowns are 6 points, and receptions, you get a half or a point, depending on half point or full point PPR. Receiving, you also get a point for every 10 yards. So you see that, right? You get reception points and you get yard points. So why the running back can't get carry points and yard points? Why the quarterback can't get completion points and yard points? Just make it fair. Just make it fair. Receiving touchdown is 6 points. A 2-point conversion obviously is 2 points. A fumble recovered for a touchdown is 6 points. So that goes to the special teams. All right, so for bonus points, you get rushing or receiving touchdown of 40 plus yards is an extra 2 points. Passing touchdown of 40 plus yards is an extra 2 points. But those are added. I think those are standard. I think those are standard bonuses, actually. All right, your penalty on offense. An interception is 2 points. You get 2 points taken away, and a fumble is 2 points taken away. For defense, a sack is a point. 1 and out. And here's the thing about the defense. I'm going to go over the defensive scoring real quick. But one thing I want you guys to remember. Going over this means stop taking a defense as top 5 in fantasy football. I'm going to get to that. You're going to have to stop, and I'm going to tell you why. You get 1 point for a sack. You get 2 points for an interception. You get 2 points for a fumble. You get 2 points for a safety. You get 6 points for a defensive touchdown. You get 6 points for a kick and punt return touchdown. But that goes to the special teams and defense. So sometimes they mess that up, though. You get 2 points conversion for. You get 2 points for that. All right. Here is where it gets nasty, especially for top 5 defenses. 10 points allowed is 0 points. 1 to 6 points, you get 7 points instead of 10 points. So your points drop. The points allowed. So now you've allowed 7 to 13 points, all right? Your defense has allowed that, right? Now you only got 4 points. You've allowed. So think about this, right? You're not a team that turns the ball over, but you are a team that wins 24-13. Your team won. Offense is good, right? Let's just say you're the Kansas City Chiefs defense, right? Well, because you allowed 13 points, if you just held the team to 13 points, your defense is only getting 4 points. If you win the game 21-20, you only got 1 point because your defense allowed 14 to 20 points. If you allow 21 to 27, so you won 35-27, you got 0 points. All the work that defense did of holding that team to only 27 while you score a bore, but that means they didn't do anything actively to take the ball away. They just held the team back. They get 0 points. And if you allow 34 points, it's -1. And if you allow 35 plus points, it's -4. So a high-scoring game with no turnovers is bad with that defense on your team. So why don't we have this discussion? So you guys can stop going after these top 5 teams with your 9th and 10th pick in the draft. Stop it. Just take the defense with your last pick, bro. You shouldn't even be holding on to a defense every week. I'm sorry, you shouldn't. You need to be looking for a defense that's going to be active based on the opponent that they're playing, right? Washington's having a bad year. Who gives a crap? They're going against Minnesota that has a weak interior line. What are they going to do? They're going to sack J.J. McCarthy 4 times. So if they sack J.J. McCarthy 4 times, right? Let's just say, for keepsake, you allowed 13 points. Right? Your defense allowed 13 points. So you only got 4 points. But that same defense that allowed 13 points, sacked the quarterback 4 times. So that's what? 4 plus 6, 8, 10, 12. Now you got 12 points. That fast. Because 4 points for holding on to 13, but you got 4 sacks. That's 12 points. And guess what happens if you just, I don't know. No, I'm sorry. Let me take that back. 4 sacks. That's 4 points. You got 8 points, right? You got 4 points for holding them, and you got another 4 points for 1 point per sack, right? let's just say you fumbled. You got a fumble recovery. You add 2 points to that. Now that's 10. A quick 10 while you allow 13 points because you were an active defense. I'll take that because that's the same 10 that nobody's going to hold to 0 points. Because if you score 3, guess what? Now you got 7. If they kick a field goal on you, you just lost 10 points that fast. But if you're an active defense, right? You're a team kind of fight. Get them teams that's 12th through 18th in defense. Miami Dolphins. Why? They're going to drop 15 on defense for you damn near every week. Duh. Pittsburgh Steelers against a nice opponent. Look, did y'all not see what the Arizona Cardinals defense came out and was doing last year? Active. So that's what I'm saying. Like, leave that top 5 defense crap alone when it comes to fantasy football. You are looking for a defense that's going to be active in the game because, yes, they're going to give up points, but they also have things they got to do defensively so they're not giving, they're giving up points and hurting them too much. So don't look for those top 5. Don't do that. Leave them alone. They're not going to do nothing for you. You need active defenses that are going to get you picks, sacks, fumble recoveries, okay? I'm not looking for defensive touchdown. I'm not looking for too much. I'm looking for things that can get me past the fact that I just gave up 20 points, 14, 13 points. That's what I'm looking at. Because we give up 7 to 13, 14 to 20 on a regular basis in the NFL. So if you're giving up that kind, what else are you doing on the outside of that? Just helping your team even win. You're not even losing. You gave up 20 points, but you still won too because you did things that helped turn the ball over. You took away from that team. So you can't just look at these high teams that are all around great because they just know how to just hold you back and not let you score. But you still will score because I have there for garbage time. Garbage time. Nobody ends the game with a donut. Garbage time. So now you sitting here high and mighty and you look 10 points because you're going to win, right? Because you're winning by 10, right? And then in garbage time, right? They put up 27 points, 21 points. They put up 21 points in garbage time. You got 0 points in defense. And now those 10 points where you up, you down, you lost. Just that simple. You sat there and watched that whole game to watch your defense not get one turnover. They won 28-27 because they held, or 28-21 because y'all held them to 21 points. You see, it's very important to do your research on defenses and not fall for the trap of who the best defenses in the league are. We're not looking for that. We're looking for defensive matchups that are going to win every week. That's what we're looking for. Okay. All right. So let's look at kicks because we still have kickers in the NFL. Some of them, not the super flex leagues, they've been able to find a way to get rid of kickers in those leagues. But all right, so kickers, you get 5 points for a 50-plus yard field goal made. 40 to 49, you get 4 points. And 39 yards or less is 3 points. Simple as that. An extra point is 1. A missed extra point, you get minus 3 points. A missed field goal from 0 to 39 is minus 2 points. And a missed field goal from 40 to 49 yards is minus 1 point. So you will miss points if your kicker is missing field goals. Now, James got a good question for me. And what defense would I have? Me personally, for fantasy, I give you know what? I give you one even better. Let me look at this year. Give me 1 second, James. Give me 1 second. So for me, if I'm looking at a defense this year, I'm looking at the Cincinnati Bengals, so they're going to get turnovers a lot. I'm looking at the Dallas Cowboys. I'm looking at Denver Broncos in certain games. I do like the Denver Broncos defense in certain games. If Detroit's secondary is where I want it to be, I don't think they're going to be a high draft pick. Like, I don't even think anybody's going to take them. So they're a team that I'm looking to draft if I can get them. Green Bay Packers for sure. Most definitely. They're going to be an active defensive team. You won't be able to get Houston. Somebody's going to steal them early. Somebody's going to take Kansas City just because it's the Chiefs. And I like Miami. I like Miami. No, not Miami. Last year I did. Not this year. Who's another sneaky pick that's going to fall defensively? You know what? It's going to be the Titans. They're another sneaky one. They're going to be another sneaky defense. Ooh, that's a good pickup if you had Koo as your kicker. I like that. Yeah, those are the defenses that I'm looking at this year. And those are defenses that I believe I can grab with my last pick. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one. What would you take? Would you take Dak Prescott this year? I had Brock and Dak last year. Ooh, would I take Dak Prescott this year? Well, to answer that question to start off with, I do have Dak Prescott as the number one quarterback in the NFL. Based off his stats last year, based off everybody else at quarterback, he's the number one quarterback right now. He had less turnovers than everyone, and I believe he was second in touchdowns. I believe he was number 1 or 2 in yards. So he had a great year last year. Would I take Dak? Yeah, I would. You want to know why? Zeke's back. Zeke and Dak combo is always a good combo, and here's why. That's Zeke and Dak's dump off. It's the easiest thing in the world. They have a good offense. They have a good offensive line. They've had some bumps and some bruises in the road. They're getting their defense back on track. I don't even have them winning a lot of games this year. I haven't winning 9, maybe 10, because Dallas has. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you people right now how scary the Dallas Cowboys are. They have quite possibly one of the toughest schedules in the NFL right now. And I got to win it 9 games. Think about that. They got one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. And I got to win in 9 games. So if they make it into the playoffs, they're going to be one of the most dangerous teams they have. Because, I have them winning 9 wins based on what they have on offense. Mind you, I just sat here and said they have, if not the toughest, one of the toughest schedules this year. That's it. You know, Coach, I want to prove it to you. I don't speak out my butthole. I want people to see what I'm talking about. Where you at, Dallas? Dallas Cowboys. I took a game away from them. I have them 8-9, but I think I'm going to give them another game against. I don't know. They're going to get 9 wins, but it's tough. I don't know. Let me see. Because I did take that 9th game away. I gave it to the Browns in week 1. Bro, this schedule hard. Look at the losses. Okay, I gave them 8-9 because this is the losses. A loss against Cleveland, a loss against Baltimore. The Giants, just because it's a division. You know what? I'm going to bring it to fruition my lack of respect for the Giants, and I'm going to give them that win. I'm going to say they're going to beat the Giants twice. The Cowboys. That's the one. I'll give them back their 9-8 that way. They'll beat the Giants twice. Yep, they'll beat the Giants twice. That's fine. So I'll give them that 9-8 there. All right, cool. But anyway, 9-8 with that defense and that offense, I still have. I like Dak Prescott. And the funny thing is, I don't think there's ever been a season outside of one where I didn't like Dak Prescott in fantasy football. I've never put him above a lot of people, but I always have him in a certain tier group where this is where you grab Dak Prescott for the best value. This is what round 10? That's a great time to get a Dak Prescott or anyone else in that tier group. So yeah, I do like Dak Prescott this year. They do a lot of good defense get off the board early, but remember, none of them are defenses. There might be one, right? And who got lucky? Whoever got lucky with the Eagles. Because it wasn't the 49ers, and people don't. It wasn't the 49ers. They were good, but they weren't taking the ball away. Remember, that secondary was bad. Just because the team is winning a lot of games, you can't just like, oh, that defense is great. No, they weren't. No, they were not. They were giving up yards. So no, that defense, and they were giving up points too. So no, that defense wasn't in the beginning when they were holding people to 3 points, it was looking good. But remember, they were just holding people. They weren't taking the ball away. So they were still only getting like 7 points. Right? We're trying to get 10 and above. That's what we want. We want 10 and above by active defenses. Elliott didn't do anything last year with Dallas. Well, he wasn't with Dallas last year. Elliott was with the Patriots last year. He got back this year. And he was with New England last year. He didn't do anything with them, which was kind of sad because I thought that was their goal line gold member, but he kept fumbling. All them trash cans, man. They took him out, man. All the trash can practice. But no, I've always liked Dak and Zeke together. They've always had a great combo since they've been in the league. So they're just going to get right back into Dak and Zach football. And again, I think like they got CeeDee Lamb, they got their number one. They have their defense will be back and healthy. And again, Dallas' defense is another sneaky pick because they're going to get turnovers. So you can get Dallas' defense late. And then I wouldn't even worry about that. All right, so last thing I want to touch on before we go, it's with fantasy. I lost my train of thought, so I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to track it and find it. That's all. I'm so sorry. That's what. If you drafted right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna be in last place. You're in last place, guy. What does Coach always say? What does Coach always say? When do we draft? If you're doing dynasty, you have to draft now. That's a different league. It has nothing to do with players like veterans. It's a rookie thing. Like it's something dynasty leagues or something completely different. You do have to draft right now. NFL drafting. When do we draft, people? Do we draft now? No. Do we draft when Hard Knocks come on? No. Do we draft before the preseason starts? No. Do we draft during the preseason? No. No. When do we draft, people? There's a whole bye week now before week 1 starts. That's when we draft. You can even draft directly right after the week 3 preseason game. But you do not draft any time before week 3 preseason. You don't do that. There's going to be too many injuries. There's going to be too many suspensions, PEDs. Forget that. 6-game suspensions. Okay? You got a lot of stuff coming down. A lot of stuff about to come down the wire. So you got to wait. You got to be patient. What we do during this time is we turn on our YouTube, we go to FFC, and we watch rankings from Coach. That's what we do. We watch those rankings. We get prepared. We get ready is what we do. Okay? Coach doesn't get you ready. That's what I do. Okay? We're going to analyze every single play. We're going to talk about every single play. We're going to raise them. We're going to drop them. Okay? I'm going to give you clues like, hey, Mark Andrews is a 4th-round pick. At tight end. That was last year. Not this year. Last year. Right? But what did I tell you? He get hurt, don't he? And what did I tell you? When he gets hurt, who should you be getting? Isaiah Likely. Why did I say get Isaiah Likely? I understand Lamar didn't play with him. Snoop played with him. But I love a tight end that can come in and play. Meaning he don't need a starter. He just needs somebody to know how to throw the ball to him. So once him and Lamar got chemistry, what you think? And don't be surprised if we're going to talk about a double tight end set to use both of those people weapons at time this year. But that's what I said. I said, yes, draft Mark Andrews. But I also said, when he gets hurt, you will need a backup. And Isaiah Likely is who you take. So we keep Isaiah Likely in the 8th round, and we keep Mark Andrews in the 4th round because he ain't getting hurt right now. This is so you have somebody this is somebody you can put on your bench and be ready to take from the waiver wire pick. But what Coach's point was, keep your eye on Isaiah Likely. Have you ready to take him? Not if, when Mark Andrews goes down. What happened? Mark Andrews went down, didn't he? And what happened? Isaiah Likely went up, didn't he? I'm telling you, Coach knows stuff, man. What do you? Well, I will say I see what you mean because, like, even with his last season with Dallas before he went to New England, it wasn't that good with Zeke. It wasn't that good. But to be honest with you, Zeke ain't really been that great. Oh, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. But Zeke hasn't been that great since he got his $90 million contract, to be quite honest. So there's that too. But guys, we draft later. We don't draft right now. Okay, we have too much homework to do. We got tier groups that need to get broken down. We have arguments that need to be had about players and about who should be number 1, 2. You know, we got stuff to do. Okay. But the draft will come. The draft will come. And when it comes, we got to be ready. That's the thing. And being ready means don't listen to ESPN. If you really want good fantasy value advice, you actually need to go to SiriusXM Radio when you're not listening to Coach and check out those Fantasy Football Network channels. Those are the best analysts you could ever listen to. Those are the analysts that make you as a person sit in your car when you're listening to them. You say, man, this is exactly what I've been trying to tell people. That's what that show makes you do. ESPN make you feel like you're lying. Like, oh man, what? That's what ESPN makes. It can make you wonder, like, that's what, because they lie. They're stat boosters. Them guys over here, they don't get paid to boost stats over on fantasy football. They don't. They get paid to give you good information. So if they give you crappy information, they about to get called up and yelled at by the fans themselves. I love that. Because what Coach tell you, you got a problem with any one thing Coach say, you come to Coach and let me know if you didn't like my pick that I told you to pick up. How many of you did I let down because I sat here and boosted up Javonte Williams and that fool over there in Pittsburgh? Coach, it broke Coach's heart that I had to come over here and Coach does apologies. Don't get me wrong. Coach will do his apology segment, and I got to apologize for my bad advice. because that one broke my heart. I boosted up both of those running backs to a second round, and people grabbed them, and they did absolutely nothing. I was like, y'all gotta be kidding me. Making my information look false because you can't run the ball. Anyway, but hey, that again, I will concede when I'm wrong. Okay, but I'm also going to boast when I'm right. I mean, I've had a lot of people come on Coach's show and for appreciation of them winning the championship, not making it to the playoffs, winning the championship. Okay, that's what I do. That's what I do. I help people win. That's what I'm about. I have one group, my man Omar and my man Jose from work, from Maxwell. Both of them, same league, 8-man league. Both of them, every week coming to coach. Hey, who should I pick up? Who should I start? Now, mind you, they going into the same waiver wire pool, right? I had both of them in the playoffs. And they had to face each other for the championship. No. Jose had to face Omar. Or they had to face each other. Whoever won goes to the championship. And it was Jose who won. And he beat the league champion. Or he beat the person that was like the league leader in the league, whatever. He smoked him. Why? Because he listened to coach. And let me tell you something tricky about Jose's roster. Let me tell you about coach's brain when I tell you about Jose's roster. He looked me in the face while we over here making pizzas. Coach, I need to help you in my draft. But look, I got one request. I need Jalen Waddle. I said, nah, Jose. No. You got to go away from that. Because I'm telling him, look, this is what he wanted. He had Christian McCaffrey with his first pick, right? I told him with the second pick, you could go get the Eagles Hurts, right? He didn't want to do that with the second pick. Good. That's fine. I forgot what he got with the second pick. But he wanted that third pick. I think he got another running back. But I know he wanted that third pick to be a receiver, and he wanted to be Waddle. I had to build this man's roster around Jalen Waddle, not the number one receiver in Miami. And this man made it to the playoffs. He had one request. I said, if you want Jalen Waddle, you're going to have to go get Lamar Jackson. That's going to have to be your quarterback. Because you're going to have to grab him fourth because you're lacking with what you have. So you got to get a powerhouse with that fourth pick. You can't get a receiver. You can't do it. You can't get another running back. Why did he not do that? Well, because I had that rookie from Detroit ready for him to grab. Come on now. It was rocky, but the man made it to the playoffs, 86. Because what this coach always tell you, we're not here trying to compile wins. If I tell you compiling wins in the NFL is obsolete when it pertains to who wins the division, then what that mean in fantasy football? You can win 10 games, 11, be undefeated to the last two, and lose the last two games. You made it to the playoffs. But guess what? Those last two games that you lost, that's strength because there's a reason why you lost those last two games in fantasy. There's a reason. Production. We late in the season in the NFL. So that production in fantasy is going to, now you lost the last two games. And now somebody that said that need those two games, he got them. He's 86 now. And now he got to face you in the playoffs. 86 will win you a Super Bowl over 10-3. Just be honest. I'm just being honest, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Or 11-3. I'm just being completely honest. Those, it's about getting in the playoffs. And if you can get in the playoffs with an 86, 87 fumbling, because you've taken some beats, you've taken some bruises, but you've had some amazing wins that got you in, you win the Super Bowl. Going all the way. Because you did the homework, you did everything, and you took those losses to the chin. It's the ones that can't take the losses. They're going to lose everything because they haven't lost. They don't know how. Bye week fiasco will kill you. And what does coach tell you? Be ready for that bye week. Bye week fiasco, because it's about, what is it, from week 6 to like week 13, week 14 is crazy. That's a long time of a lot of players you won't get to have unless you move strategically. Build your roster not just to win week 1. You got to win the season, pimp. Means you got to build the roster. You got to have the right people. You got to know who to grab for your bench. Meaning, you ain't turning out the way I want you to, so I can flip you real quick to see what you do in the next couple of weeks. If not, yeah, but luckily you won one of my first 5 picks. Prepare for injuries, and like Coach always says, if you're not going for Pat Mahomes or Jalen Hurst with your first pick, 2 picks, yeah, you can wait till around 10. Get you a Dak. Get you a Lawrence, I guess. Get you who else is around that area? A Herbert. Or you can just wait for your last pick. Get you a Sam Howell, who led the NFL last year in the first 9-10 weeks. That's fine. Remember, we trying to win fantasy games, right? So if that's what you got for your first 9 weeks, that's fine. You got other quarterbacks to flip around. Don't get stuck on players. It's fantasy. Live the fantasy. Be the guy that knew you made the right decision and the right risk, like my man Lucas. He missed. He still didn't make it to the championship, but he was holding on to one more playoff win. And you know what made that decision? Trey McBride or that Raiders tight end. Is he the Raiders? It was the Arizona tight end, Raiders tight end. And both of them were great. I like both of them. He had the Raiders tight end, I know that for a fact. And right before the Arizona game started, he switched and he put in, I think it's Trey McBride. I think that's who was with Arizona. And he won. Because he'd rather take the risk factor on the fact that coming off of this injury, his favorite target was the tight end. That little boy that ran around the circle for Arizona. I'm able to brain fart at names today. But that was his it became his favorite target the minute he stepped on the field off of that leg injury. And he proved that almost every week. So that was a great pickup. That was a great risk for a very high reward. Because why? He basically was able to stay in the playoffs one more week. Now, when that next week came, he saw his team, he saw he was fading. He got smoked. Yeah, he got smoked. But look, I love what I do with this fantasy stuff. I love giving great advice. That's what I do here. I love telling people, how many of y'all were happy about Jalen Reed? How many of y'all was happy about Jalen Reed? Huh? Because coach go in, I look at everything. I look at the whole body of the picture, and I create a story in my own head. And if I don't believe the story, I don't want you to believe it. I believed in Jalen Reed last year. And look what he did. And mind you, old boy was his favorite target. And who am I high on this year? Jordan Love. Who's going to grab Jordan Love? Nobody. Who should grab him? Everybody listening to coach. Why should you? Well, only last year did he show you he can hit any target that he wants. Only this year did they pick up an extra target in Josh Jacobs. Only this year did they get him more protection on line, so he ain't taking them beatings in the pocket like he was last year in the playoffs. But I loved it because I was like, oh, that boy. When you can watch a quarterback like Jordan Love, and I'm using him as an example, meaning a quarterback that can sit in the pocket and take those hits and still get the ball off down the field, that's what you want. That's the future. What you don't want is him taking those kind of hits, so you have to get him to protect it. Understandable. But that's what you want. So when I saw that last year, I said, cool, that's my quarterback this year. Jordan Love. And here's why. Go look at Jordan Love's numbers and go look at Peyton. Go look at Jordan Love's numbers and go look at Dak Prescott's numbers. Tell me what's the difference. There's none. There's none. You know what the difference is? I can get Jordan Love at a higher value in a lower round than Dak Prescott. Where you can get Dak Prescott round 10, I can get Jordan Love in round 15. Same numbers, lower round, which means with that 10th pick, I got something even better. Probably another tight end. Probably another running back. Other running backs. You gotta know how to be strategic, man. Like, you don't need a quarterback. There's 32 quarterbacks in the league, right? 32 quarterbacks start. Just start there. Just start there. 32 teams, 32 quarterbacks. You just need 20 of them. The most league you're in is a 14, 16 team league, right? Those will get tougher trying to find a quarterback. But if you're in an 8-man, you're in a 10-man, a 12-man league, bro, you don't need 20 quarterbacks. It's only 12 of you playing. You telling me you have to have a quarterback with your 8th pick? Out of the 32 quarterbacks and the 12 people you're playing against, there's not just 20 of them. You can't, there's not nobody you can see that you can take later that's better than everybody who picked somebody first. Think about this. People went and got Pat Coombs, right? His numbers were not great last year. Matter of fact, in the first 9 weeks, he wasn't even a top 5 quarterback. You know who was number 1? Sam Howell. You know who was number 2? Oh, boy from Houston. He was a rookie. I didn't see that coming. You see what I'm saying? Like, nobody drafted him either. Not in the first 5, 10 picks. Houston's quarterback. No, they did that. No, they went and chased Joe Burrow, who got hurt. They went and chased Herbert, who got hurt. They went and chased. Yeah, you went and got Lamar. You were smart. Like I told you, 4th round, get Lamar. Who knows why you get Lamar Jackson in the 4th round? Can anybody tell me? Simple. Because he runs for 600 yards a season. As simple as that. Not only does he throw, which was upwards in the high 30s this year, which I love, he can run for like 600, 700 yards a season. So he's a running back too. Like, right? He's putting up both numbers. So that's why he's a guy you can take with your 4th round, because it's almost like you got a running back and a quarterback at the same time with Lamar Jackson. He's just that dual threat of a player. And there's a few of them that are like that you can grab. And you know who else you grab that nobody's paying attention to, especially because he's coming off the injury and ain't nobody else believing in the hype? But I do, because I believed in it last year. It's just the injury took it out. Aaron Rodgers. Nobody's going to grab Aaron Rodgers. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to touch it. I will touch that. Because you know who I'm not touching? I'm not touching the Bills quarterback. Josh Allen. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching Watson. I'm not touching Burrow. I want a different set of values at quarterback. I'm not going for these guys with these high paychecks. I'm not going for somebody that got to prove something. I'm going for Geno Smith. He's already proved it twice. One of them has a healthy season this year, a good season this year. Geno Smith will have a great year. If you don't get beat out by Sam Howell. That's what I'm going for. Now, you got 7 rookies, I believe. 6 rookies. I'm not touching either one of them. They suck. Unless they tell me something different than what I'm already looking at with these rookies. Brother, I don't want none of it. I don't want none of that. But it's almost time. It's almost time. So look, be patient. Do your research. Study these players. Look at their past. Look at their potential. Look at what they can do with a good offensive line. Look at what the quarterback can do. Look at look at everything. Look at everything, right? And just do not draft in fantasy football what you like. I don't care what you like. I don't give a damn what you like, to be quite honest with you. Oh, you like him? Cool. I hate him. Because this is fantasy. This is not the NFL. I get what he can do in the NFL. He ain't translated that over to fantasy. I don't want none of that. I want him. I want that 7-catch guy that ain't nobody looking at because he's the 3rd receiver on the team. And then the other guy who's the number one, can't handle a double team. So the quarterback keeps dumping off to this guy who's getting 7 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown every week. That's a good flex, isn't it? That's a good flex, isn't it? That's 8 points for 80 yards plus another 7 points. So what? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, right? And he scored a touchdown. 6 points. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 points off of 7 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown. I want all of that. And that's somebody I drafted with my 11th pick. That's not no high commodity wide receiver. That's a third string wide receiver on the league. Why? Because when I watch the games, red zone, red zone, red zone, I watch the quarterback literally go to him every single chance when he can't go to the other guy. Then number 2, everybody been high on, he ain't touching the ball because he can't get separation. It's this slot guy that's just tearing it up. Gotta look at stuff like that, guys. You gotta look at stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's what coach is here for, because that's the stuff coach sees. I see everything, and I don't see it for my own benefit. I see it for yours. I see it for the benefit of, I don't want to say knowing football. I don't know everything. I forget half the stuff half the time. I'm 40. But what I mean is, I have enough confidence in this sport to know enough of this sport that I can look you in the face and tell you right, wrong, yes, no. Now, maybe if you thought of, no, I ain't never seen coach do no bull crap like that. No, why would you? You know what coach tell you? Why the hell would you do that? Who told you to do that? I didn't do that. Take that person off your doggone roster. Man, go grab this guy. You didn't see this man just go off 3 games in a row with 6 catches for 50 yards each game with a touch. Like, come on. That's what coach will do. Coach will get your mind right. I'm not gonna pamper you. This is fantasy. I'm not pampering you. Okay? The same person that's here to help you. I'm trying to help you not get a mark on your booty because you lost in fantasy football. Now you got to get an emblem because you lost, because that's the punishment. I'm not trying to get you an ice water bath. Okay? I'm trying to help you win. Fantasy punishments stuck. And I don't like them. So I'm trying to help you win so you don't have to deal with it. But you got to listen to coach. And if you don't listen to coach and you do stupid stuff, well, I mean, you deserve the punishment. I'm going to laugh at you now. But I had a great show with you guys today. So what we'll do is we're going to come back next week, I believe. Yes, because we're here now. We're here every week now because we got to get ready for fantasy. So today was welcome back. We went over the AFC and NFC North. So next week is going to be AFC, NFC South, and that'll be the last of our predictions. And next week we will be getting into fantasy tier groups. Okay, I believe the first position, depending on the time, we may go through quarterbacks and running backs. If not, we'll just do quarterbacks, and then the following week we'll finish off basically all the other positions and tier groups. Because from there we get ready to start ranking. You got to do there's a lot of players, over 200 something odd players, 300 players. So I go down the line from 1 to, I don't think like 80 of these guys are. I do stop. Don't get me wrong. Because you got to think, right? Tight ends, I get it. There's 32 tight ends in the NFL, right? But 32 tight ends ain't like maybe 11. Not really going to do anything. So it's you got to know the math and numbers in football to weave through all those little things to find the right string to pull. That's all. And that's what coach is here for. I'm here to help you navigate through all that terrain, all that nasty terrain. That's what it is. Teddy, I'm here for you, my guy. We are going to take good care of you. You will not fall like you did last year. Joe, I don't know if I'm playing this year. Because I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Teddy everything. I think I'm gonna put it all into Teddy. I don't like how Teddy's season went last year, man. I did not like it. I thought about this for a while, man. Teddy, I think you about to have coach in your back pocket this year, bro. I think that's what we're gonna do. That way, I can give you a whole season get you right, get you to win, and then set you on your middle way. Because I didn't like you drafted. I ain't even about the 30 seconds, bro. You drafted horribly. There was a panic draft. I get it. 30 seconds can look like a lot, and it can look like it can look like the last day of your life real quick. So we're gonna get you right, my guy. But hey, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Again, stay tuned next week. We got a lot. We're going over the rest of the NFC and AFC South teams, and then we are diving right into fantasy. We're going into the tier groups. There's a lot to talk about with those tier groups because we got a lot of maneuvering to do. I'll probably have all that done, but paper-wise, we still might make some changes here and there because you guys might say something. Remember, I take comments. Come in the comment section when I'm live. We will discuss what Coach talks about. We will discuss these topics. You know what I mean? But that's what we got going for next week. And then again, like I said, after that, we go into those. We go into the rankings. That's going to take a lot of time because we got to get those rankings done before you guys start drafting. All right. So stay tuned. Coach is out, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.